right. Speaking of the duo in love, for the tag team title, Santana and Ortiz against Balding and Pieface Buck. And did you see it was a nice touch? Apparently the Bucks' crackpot, right-wing, birther nut, religious fanatic parents were right there in the front row.
Their dad looks like Harry Silken on disco night at Woody's. What a ridiculous-looking man.
Stop me before I sub-reference again. Santana and Ortiz, as we mentioned, have been playing it straight whenever you get to see them recently, and Ortiz knocked off the comedy Pampero Firpo Jr. business, and they can work. But I mean, it's hard to judge anybody in a match with the Young Bucks. Let's face it. And I'm not even going to try to review this thing. Every match is indistinguishable from every other match. Santana and Ortiz or whoever works with the Bucks have to try to do preposterous shit that nothing makes sense. And it's the same fucking match over and over. I can't critique them. They never get any better. They never change anything. At one point, the Young Bucks hit Santana with the Road Warriors Doomsday device, and old Pieface Buck didn't even cover him. Just sat there and looked and stared up to fire up the non-existent crowd so they could do some more tricks. And then after every bump ever taken in a wrestling ring in the history of wrestling, the Bucks won with a small package. But immediately, because after all, on AEW, the one thing that you're sure of when the match is over with is that the match ain't over. There's an afterbirth on every single match. Inner Circle starts kicking the shit out of the Bucks. Callis and Twinkle Toes and Gallows and Anderson are arguing about whether to go help them because the Bucks are in their club, the club that they can't say bullet except when they slip. The announcers are having to act like any of this is real and it makes sense or it's believable. And finally, Gallows and Anderson come out and do the half-hearted save where it's not really a save. And there you go. Did you...
And then the father gets heat on the inner circle. Yeah. The father pushes the inner circle.
Yeah. And here's another thing. They're stealing from me again. It was more than 10 years ago. I had Papa Briscoe in New York for the 6-man tag with the Briscoes against the Kings of Wrestling and old Shane Hagedorn. But Papa Briscoe was twice as big as both of his sons, weighed more than 250 pounds, had a handshake like Danny Hodge, and could fuck you up by looking at you crooked. This fucking aging fucking long-haired hippie reject from fucking Haight-Ashbury in 1966 looks like he'd fucking wither and turn to ash if you kicked him in the shins. Did you have any epiphanies on this match, or could you make out what was going on, or should we just continue on?
No, it was a Young Bucks match. Lots of flips, lots of kickouts. I did have one observation, though, and it made me laugh so hard, and I'm thinking about it now, and I'm laughing again. The next time you see the Young Bucks, I want you to keep something in mind. When they come out onto the little entranceway and they do their little double bicep.
Yeah.
They seem like guys who have heard about bubblegum, but have never chewed it before and are having a difficult time figuring out how it works. Watch them chewing gum. It looks like two guys who can't figure out what's going on and they're trying to chew it and they just can't. Watch it. Next time they come out, watch that and just think about that. Because it made me laugh throughout the match.
Well, see, there you've had an epiphany. The problem is the Bucks can't wrestle and chew gum at the same time.
They couldn't hit the double bicep and chew gum at the same time.
And the biceps... all right, anyway. Children,